What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of The Remote Real Estate Investor. I'm Michael Album, and today I'm joined by my two co-hosts,
Tom Schneider
and Emil Shore.
And today we are going to be talking about an issue that Tom ran into that could easily happen to anyone with a mortgage. So let's get into it. All right, guys, it's been a minute. Good to see you both. How are things?
Things are good. Busy. Got 2-year-olds and 3-month-year-olds and life, man. Life, it is in it right now. But things are really good. Everybody's happy, healthy, well. So can't complain.
Good. Emil?
Man, I feel like it's been forever that the three of us have been on a podcast forever. Tom, your kid is 3 months. That's amazing, man. Yeah, same thing. I got 2 kids. Life is crazy. Feel like I never get to go surfing anymore. So I just live in my home gym because that's the only activity I can do that keeps me occupied and sane. But everything's good, man. So I'm excited to hear what's going on today because you were about to tell me, but we're like, no, let's just start recording this episode. So I'm very interested to hear what's going on with your portfolio.
Yeah, Tom, just take it away, man. Bring Emil and everybody listening up to speed on what's been going on in your world. And then we're going to talk through about how to solve it and how to avoid this type of situation going forward.
I think I'm going to start with a shorter path of what is going on, and then we can kind of unpack it a little bit. So through the great financing opportunities, I refinanced a ton of my properties. And the most recent one that I refinanced, I found, sort of bad reviews on the lender, but hey, great rate. I complete the refinance. I sign up for, as with all my mortgages, sign up for paperless notifications. I sign up for, I guess I am doing a little more meandering one. I sign up for auto payment on my mortgage. My auto payment never hits. So it never hits. And a couple months go by and I get a notice from my credit card that I've got a foreclosure on my record. So I go back to log in to the mortgage servicer and I'm blocked. I can't get in. So now speeding up the story much faster, I just reinstated my loan and went through a foreclosure, never got notification on this, and am absolutely, kind of in the middle of it right now. And that I just reinstated the loan and am going through the process of kind of demanding that they fix my credit and all that stuff. So anyways, that is the issue that I've been going through. And go ahead, Michael, grill me. I'm just, yeah.
Well, just in taking a step back, so you missed the first mortgage payment after the refinance.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I was going to, how did that happen? Because you signed up for autopay.
I signed up for autopay as the first mortgage payment was hitting. And I signed up for it and figured I was done. The email correspondence I got was, hey, you're all set up for autopay. What happened is that initial charge hit. So the autopay doesn't work if you have any amount delinquent. They don't tell you if there's a balance on the account. They don't tell you if their autopay is not working. Now, I'm very much I'm a dummy and I should have noticed in my checking account that there was certain dollars not going out. I have a bunch of mortgages. So, I think this is a mistake by me. I think I am going through it right now and, paying the, few $100 to make it right. But man, it was kind of easy for me to happen. So go ahead, Michael.
I have a question here. Tom, how long of payments did you miss before you went into foreclosure? Was it just one missed payment? Was it 3 months? How long was it?
So I think it was 2 months. So as I said, I set up the auto payment where when I finished it, there was a balance on it, didn't hit. And then 2 months later, from my Chase credit card, hey, by the way, you have some major derogatory marks on your account. And guys, it is really, they make it so hard to come back out. They blocked me out of my account because I like immediately tried to log in to pay. So you can't block into your account. They move the paper, your loan, immediately to this random foreclosure attorney, in the state. I asked to reinstate the loan from that foreclosure attorney. They say, great, we'll send you a response and a quote in 7 to 14 days. So I can't even pay. I'm trying to get this done with. From the time that I found out about it, there's like nothing you can do. And they have various phone numbers associated with the attorney, associated with the mortgage servicer. And every time you talk to them, get prepared to wait 30 minutes to talk to another human. And it's like they like kind of are really rooting for you to fail because like that's a huge incentive for them to sell the loan, but I have like resources and time and like, help where I'm able to move this as fast as humanly possible. But it is really just a gut punch every step of the way trying to. And again, I'm saying like I made a mistake. I should have noticed that it wasn't. But if you look at my email history, the only emails I have from this lender is congratulations, you're set up on paperless. Congratulations, you're set up on ePay. And that's it,
That's the weird part is that you didn't get like, I would think if I'm missing a payment, I would get a letter, a email, something like, hey, you're 30 days past due on your mortgage payment. Like, what? How do you go straight from missed payment to just like
in foreclosure?
No correspondence. Yeah, and in foreclosure. That's crazy to me.
They would have sold it and I never would have known about it had Chase, like my credit card company, not told me this. Now, I will say that I think it was like Friday, like a week after it moved into foreclosure, I got a letter that was backdated. So today is May 23rd. Friday was May, 21st? I got a letter that Friday backdating from May 6th, letting me know that I'm in foreclosure. And it was like a certified mail from May 6th, but delivered on May 19th. I mean, it's just really flawed the incentives of these companies. And go ahead, hit me with some more questions. The blood's boiling a little bit. So go ahead.
So where do things stand today?
Yeah. So
like at this moment in time.
Where it stands right now, so that 7-day period passed, or whatever, 10 days, where the attorney, perfectly fine attorney doing their job, they sent me this payoff. I pay it off within 5 minutes, whatever the balance was. I was honestly concerned it was going to be like, thousands and thousands of dollars to move it back out. But it ended
credit card interest style interest rates. Yeah,
it ended up being, gosh, I think it was like somewhere between $200 and $500, which is like not cool, which like really sucks. But there's so much appreciation. My loan to value is so low on this property. Like, there's much worse situations. So I have reinstated that. The attorney gave me a phone number to call to like follow up for making sure auto pay is in place. I called the number. It turns out it's the wrong group. This is like the group that's having trouble to payment, but it's like, no, you're back with the foreclosure because they're reinstating the loan. It looks like, we have received the funds, but you got to call these people tomorrow. And it's like, if I didn't have like the time and energy and like the resources, Michael, introduced me to, his attorney to help me out and, reaching out to her. This could easily slip through the cracks and it's just miserable. A couple of other things I'll say on the like notification piece. So I don't know if anybody else has rental properties, but I get at least 10 phone calls a day from people trying to buy my house, and, I have some like spam phone call, like listening stuff that like makes the person talk first. So it's like, it's not some like auto tree. So, I mean, they said that they left a phone call, but it's like, I didn't get one. If you did, you might be using like a phone tree. And am I supposed to answer every one of these, 10 or however many calls a day that I'm getting from a wholesaler who's trying to buy, all cash, whatever? It's like, anyways,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a funny aside for those. So you guys know I'm trying to sell a property in Jacksonville, and I just, I know they're usually garbage calls when those come in, but I was like, let's see what happens. Like, I think I got a couple text messages and emails. I like try to go through the process with them, and someone was like, okay, cool. We'll get back to you with a quote tomorrow. Never heard back from any of them. It's hilarious how like you guys are spending all this money on lead acquisition and you guys don't even extend me a, lowball offer or something. Like, it's just funny. Anyway, sorry. Total aside that I had to comment about.
dude, it's all in this whole ecosystem, you know, like as part of the process is them leaving a call with me. And it's like, you know, they might have left a call, but it probably just got picked up into these random, you know, spammers, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
That's so frustrating. But so if we take a step back, Tom, you said something at the beginning of your story, and I'm curious, if you were to do this all over again, would you change your process any, other than, of course, looking more closely at your bank statements, like, oh, I'm Tom, I just have drowning in too many mortgages, like too much income.
Humble flex.
How do I keep track of
right. Like, yeah, but like, what do you do differently? How do you ensure this doesn't happen again? And what would you say to people listening so that they don't find themselves in a similar situation?
So I got a couple of thoughts on this. Excellent question, Michael. One of them would be, you know, quality does matter. Obviously, you know, we talk a lot about this podcast, like how important that relationship is with your PM. And it's like, don't be penny wise, pound foolish. The more that I'm learning about it, man, if I could pick up a call and talk to like someone servicing my loan and not have to wait on hold for 30 minutes, like there's some real value in that. So would I be willing to pay like a few more bips up on my debt servicing? I think so. Like this has been really painful. So like I would, instead of just like always hunting for the absolutely lowest like mortgage payment, if you have the time to like navigate through whatever hellscape, or I don't know, that's you know.
Welcome to real estate investing, folks. It's going to be a hellscape.
Yeah,
you're gonna run the gauntlet.
Yeah, no. I you know, I love my rental properties are great. They're awesome. But like this has for sure been one of the more kind of like frustrating incidents about it. So back to your original question, what would I do differently? I had a lender that was great, and I was hoping to get a little bit lower of an interest rate, and it was a little bit lower, but like not enough to have a simpler process where I just have one lender that's managing everything, and I can call them and talk to them, you know, when I need to. So that would be it. The other would be around the fund flow thing. And we talked about that before, is every month there's got to be expectations about what money is coming in and what is coming out, the right and left side of the ledger. And I was lazy about it. I had a sheet, and I kind of just didn't think twice about it. And, you know, life gets busy sometimes with kids, work, you know, all that stuff. But if you're going to play this game, like, man, what a dumb way to get tripped up on it. And I think knowing what the CYA is, you know, you guys familiar with that?
Very much so.
Cover your butt. Yeah. And
what is that?
Making sure that your debt servicing is in place is a big one. So that would, you know, my sort of 10 cents on it. I'm going through the experience.
Yeah.
Guys, what is CYA? I've never heard of that.
It stands for cover your
butt, but a different
with the A.
Got it. This is probably a good place for us to give a little shout out to Stessa. You know, if you're using Stessa and probably checking it once a month, probably would have come up. So go hop on the Stessa train, Stessa.com.
Yeah, it's good plug, Emil.
Great point.
Good plug.
Great plug and great point. Like, yeah, that stuff would have been highlighted for sure. Oh man, so I think that's something that a sentiment that I share, Tom, is like paying a little bit more on your interest or your loan products for service. Like, to be able to pick up the phone and have a conversation with a live person, I think is so invaluable. And I think it's a shame because it's one of those things that you don't realize how valuable it is until you need it. And it's oftentimes too late. So that's a great tidbit for folks.
And super relevant, you know, insurance, right? Insurance, the same thing. Like if you're trying to get a claim, like I can imagine a situation similar to this where you're hunting for the absolutely lowest premiums. And hey, guess what? You bought a piece of paper. Like, you know, it hits the fan. I mean, this is like, you know, smart money, you know, penny wise, pound foolish is the thing. Property management. Like if you're chasing the cheapest dollar, like you may get away with it or you may not. And like, there's something to be said for sure about the quality side of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So going forward, what do you do differently?
Yeah, well, going forward, one of them is, you know, there's going to be, is kind of fighting tooth and nail to get this like expunged from my record. Just because it's so silly. Like it was there for like 2 days. And I think I have like really pretty reasonable documentation against that. This was like, I don't want to say wrongful, because I mean, maybe they did like call me or something, but I didn't realize it, but like my email trail. So going forward, I don't think this is exactly your question. This is more like kind of next step, but I can talk about going forward is, fighting to get this off of my record. And I thought about refinancing, like just, hey, let's get out of here.
To get out of the loan, yeah.
But I mean, rates are kind of climbing, and it is at a super low rate. So like just, measure twice, cut once on making sure that the auto payment is in place. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, on the go forward basis, just being a little bit more thoughtful on the quality side and giving a little bit more credence, I think is the right word, to like some of the reviews and some of the peer feedback on certain vendors out there. This has triggered a couple of other go forward items. Like I haven't talked to some of my property managers in a little bit. Like things seem to be looking okay, but I do this monthly review of like, okay, things I want to do as it relates to family, finance, career, all that stuff. And something I added for next month is, hey, I got to schedule a checkup with my property managers. Speaking to like CYA, I love the passiveness of real estate investing, but you can get to a point where you are not CYA, and checking in with your fund flow, just, even if it's just a once a year or once every 6 month check-in with your property manager. I have not been doing a great job at that. So getting a slightly less passive, but I mean, to give myself a little bit of a break, I've got like, a couple of babies at home. So it's a little bit of extra work.
Seems like a reasonable excuse.
CYA, God, Michael.
You have to be CYA-ing, like it's an active verb. And I love, like, anytime I hear the word credence, all I can think of is down on the corner. It's like everything else is just like in one ear out as soon as Creedence Clearwater Revival comes on.
Oh, yeah. Great word. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great stuff, man.
I mean, kind of great stuff.
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like you said, like, yeah, as an action item, as like a teachable moment, as a go forward, kind of looking in the rear view mirror, knowing now what you didn't know then, what you know now, kind of a thing. There are some great actionable takeaways, I think, for everyone here listening. Sorry that you had to be the guinea pig, but good stuff, good action items, takeaways.
Yeah. CYA. Pennywise pound. Pennywise.
That's going to be the title of this episode, CYA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emil, thoughts, reactions?
It sucks to hear, man. Like, I feel for you. It's like this, you're at the end of it and there's literally nothing you can do and you're just doing damage control. So, sorry you have to go through that, man. And I hope it all works out for you without like too much brain damage.
Oh, thanks. Yes. Yeah. Well, the glass is not half full, guys. The glass is completely full. It's half water, half air. So, optimism. Yeah. Keep next steps onwards and upwards.
I thought you were going to say the glass isn't half full. It's completely empty. I hate this.
Completely full. Brimming.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. All right. Well, we'll have to have you back on at the end of the saga and hear what the time frame was to get resolution, what the resolution was, if there's any additional costs, to give people an idea of how worthwhile it is to follow up on this stuff at the beginning.
And it'll be really interesting to know, like, if this ever happens to somebody, like what did you do to get it all corrected and how much did it cost?
What's the roadmap?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this was like a big black hole of like kind of understanding what it was. And, thankfully, shout out to my credit card company for letting me know that some lenders sneakily added my home in foreclosure to try to basically steal this property from me.
They just really want your property, Tom. This is like them just being like, man, this thing is sweet. I want it.
Give me.
I want it. Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, I don't know if I've ever heard anyone give a shout out to Chase Credit Card Company in the past, but you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that was our episode, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, watching, wherever it is you're consuming this. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Ratings, feedback, reviews, really helpful for us. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Happy investing.